video is fair use. It is transformative and is protected under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, reporting, teaching, and more. Any questions you want me to ask Ryan tonight or anything? Because do I think Fred is guilty of anything? As far as with Summer, no. Absolutely no way. I would put my life on it. Seriously, I would put my life on it and have a in my head. And if he's involved, pull the trigger because I know he's not involved. That's how sure I am.
Imagine me and you. I think about you day and night.
And I've always been sure, but especially within the last couple weeks after I talked to the person that I talked when I came on here and told you guys about somebody I talked to that has known Fred his whole life or for not his whole life, but a long time, and is a very, very, very good source on his character. You couldn't get much better source than this as far as his character.
Well, his sisters have known him their whole lives, and they have a lot to say too.
And I mean, they could not stop praising how great of a guy he was, just like I knew.
So happy together.
But as far as guilty, what he's in jail for, yes. And
sometimes it's hard to be a woman.
He's guilty for selling drugs, but the way I told him, I said, he knows.
If you love him, but you forgive him.
But he's super serious. He said, he goes, I know people think, this is what he said today, he goes, I know people think that I'm just saying that I'm done with drugs because I'm in here. But he's like, I am seriously done. I want nothing to do with it. I don't even desire them. And he was also saying he wasn't using like people think he was, to the degree, but
he's hard to understand.
It was like he was using to function, just enough to function, because he, I guess, was somewhat dependent on it. So yeah, he's guilty of selling drugs, and I really hope that he is serious about what he's saying, and I believe he is, but we need to figure something out for when he gets out for him and Laura. But that's, once I know what's going on with Sullivan and what the next steps are, as far as with his rehab and how long Sullivan's going to give him, and which we guys with his rehab and how long Sullivan's going to give him, and which we don't think they're going to give him really anything because he's going off to rehab, but they could give him up to a year. But once I know what they're going to do, it will be much better for me to help him.
I don't know, it's not really my business, but Ziggy, why are you helping drug-addicted, meth charges suspects who lived right by Summer Wells when she went missing? Just a question. I guess the rehab part's kind of cool. I mean, that's nice of you. It's just, I feel like you're doing too much. This is inappropriate. The clothes, the phones.
I really made a good friend. Seriously, Fred is I consider him a friend. Same thing with Laura.
Well, maybe y'all could be roommates. You need help with your rent. They're probably gonna need a place to stay. Oh, that would be fun. 24-hour content.
I've talked to him for over 2 years. Very consistently. Same with Laura. Pretty consistently anyways. When they're more so, definitely a lot more the past year and a half or so. Yeah, that's what he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. He's like, I wish and I was like, yeah, well, Brian wishes too that you were out here and you could help with locations. But a good thing is, supposedly, well, not supposedly, it's fact.
Fact, Ziggy? I don't think so. I don't think it's a fact. And maybe Ryan did find some truth or untruths.
Fred gave Ryan a contact of somebody that could can help him with locations that Fred has told him, where Fred has told him that, you know, certain things. I don't want to put out there everything, like their plans and stuff like that.
Well, as far as I know, that has turned out to be bunk information from your buddy Fred. Not true, or at least didn't lead anywhere. Let's look at a little screenshot here. Oh, this is from Ryan's channel, and it's under his video called Summerwell's Search, Final Laurel Run Hike, How Fred is Manipulating the Public. This is the description under the video. This is our final Laurel Run hike after we finally discovered the truth about Mr. Roy Cotton Simpson and Fred's lies about him. There is no cave, and we know now that we won't find any truth in this case by listening to anything that Fred claims. How interesting. Is Ryan finding the truth? Or not? I don't know.
Stand by your man.
Deal. So, I got this card today from Fred, and if you notice at the top right, he gave you guys a shout out. Love you guys. That's for you guys.
Yeah, right. That's for you, Ziggy. You and your family.
And he also emailed me and wanted me to tell you guys that he loves you guys again. So he says, Merry Christmas, my dearest, and New Year, and many to come. I wish you and your family the best during the holidays. Hey, I'm doing good. Eager to get out so I can start a new beginning in life. One chapter closes and another opens. When I get all my lifestyle took care of, I would like, or if I get all my stuff took care of, I would like to come and visit you one day, and will as soon as I get all took care of, I promise. And he puts, I love you guys. Love always, Fred Hill, your backwards ass hillbilly.
Let's hear that little love giggle one more time.
So I want to share that with you guys. I think Fred's starting to like the attention a little bit. I don't think he's not used to it. Communicating. So basically, this is this disciplinary report is an accurate one. I mean, he did do the violation in question on November 14th, 2023. It says inmate Fred Hill using other inmates' chirp, even though your chirp privileges are revoked until further notice per jail administration. And then it just says here where Fred checks and says that, you know, he wishes to waive a disciplinary hearing and accept the following discipline plan, which is loss of his commissary privileges for 30 days.
Real riveting content here, Ziggy. Did Fred lose his privileges because of you and what you did on your YouTube channel? And I love how you tagged Summer's name in this.
So, yeah, losing his commissary. So he hasn't been able to get commissary. So that money, any money you guys, if you have sent on his commissary, he will get it when he gets out. But yeah, like in a check or some crap, I don't know. It's been a nightmare. There's many of you people have actually sent money to the wrong place because of freaking Hawkins County's stupid games.
Shame on all of you who are sending commissary or money for Fred's phone, because you know what you're doing? You're actually helping Ziggy get content by the way of using Fred, which in turn is exploiting Summer again and again and again. So shame on all of you.
But what I right here, using other inmates' chirp, even though your chirp privileges are revoked until further notice per jail administration. But they don't tell him why. Oh, that's just your chirp. You know, it's because he spoke out on here and people called the jail and caused all kinds of issues, which makes zero sense.
Actually, Ziggy, it makes perfect sense. Really, it does. You used Fred and you put him on your YouTube channel live while doing a video call from jail. And in the background were other inmates. That is a violation of privacy. And he spoke about Summer's case. You know, important details that weren't meant for the public. So yeah, it's your fault. And you did that. So yes, it is your fault that he lost privileges. And no, it's nobody else's fault but yours. And his. So stop trying to blame people who called the jail. It's your fault. Ziggy, will you ever take accountability for anything? I know. Dumb question.
We just had Rap on here the other day, and that jail had zero problems with it.
Well, Ziggy, it was said that you guys organized that in advance. So, it would make a bit more sense. And he wasn't on video as far as I can remember. So the privacy of other inmates wasn't compromised. Do you get it now? And, you weren't talking about a missing child's case that he had information in. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him. Isn't it funny how not making fun of him, but he just is so country. He's like, he says the Lord and instead of God, he's just so like wholesome. I don't know. He's just so like wholesome. I don't know.
Yep. Real wholesome with those, gun charges and all, and the meth stuff. Pretty wholesome. But, you guys look good together, so there's that.
He is not like what people think. It just makes me laugh because I don't know. Here, I'll rewind it 10 seconds. I just don't feel like I just everything lines up with him. And people will say things, like you're in love with him or suspect supporter, or you just like whatever. But like the proof is in the pudding.
The proof sure is in the pudding, Ziggy.
Imagine me and you. I think about you day and night.
It's weird to me when somebody says that, oh, why does people take Fred's word as Bible? It's like, well, they shouldn't take his word as Bible, but compared to everybody else, it's just the proof is in the pudding.
You're shitting me, right? So this next clip is courtesy of Lippy. Please go sub up to Lippy. I will put her link in the description.
It looks like to me, it sounds like to me. I need to have Fred say it himself.
He did tell me that the dogs hit at his property and his mom's. So that is concerning. But at the same time, Fred told me this time that he believes that they were trying to set him up.
Wait a minute. This gumball machine takes quarters, not dimes. Holy crap, it's a setup! Time to make a quick getaway.
But I don't know. But according to Fred, he did tell me, he didn't seem worried at all. Like he was.
I need to have Fred say it himself.
He did tell me that the dogs hit at his property and his mom's.
Well. Isn't that interesting? So our next clip is from Prayer Garden's channel, and it is Prayer Garden and Dawn speaking about Fred. Neither of these two are really credible in my opinion at all, so please do take it with a grain of salt. Let's take a listen.
Fred Hill needs to be looked into. And they did not check his property thoroughly, no. They was telling people to check their own properties.
Well,
but I guarantee you, if that was one of law enforcement's children that disappeared, they'd have been on those people's property checking it.
There wouldn't be no damn drugs being delivered and everything's still going on. That's for damn sure. If it was one of their kids, they'd be coming down on everybody if it was one of their kids.
Exactly.
Well, I guess we do know that to be true. The fact about the drugs still happening after Summer went missing. And we know that because Fred was charged and set up. So there's that. All right, let's keep going.
Exactly. Absolutely. And, and Fred lying about being up there the very night Summer come up missing, talking to you, that was a lie.
Yes.
He kept his ass away until he felt it was safe to be there.
Yep. And then inserted himself.
And what better way to get law enforcement off of you than getting your ass wired up for him, right?
Yeah, right.
How can this guy, and I'm telling you, that's criminal mind right there. Of course, a criminal mind's going to think of that if they don't want to get caught, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that Fred Hill had anything to do with it, but some of the people coming up to see him and everything else, and the traffic that was up in here.
Well,
he's trying to be elusive about that part of it. And
Jody Sue said cleaning metal. And he was hauling off metal that day.
Yes, he was.
He was up there a week and a half before that with 30 thoughts in his mind that he was trying to pawn off on somebody else.
Trying to project it on somebody else.
Absolutely. And, you know, so, I mean, that's motive. That's motive. It's motive and motivation, right?
It's definitely a red flag.
And his truck would have been down there on the road where the dog trail ended.
Yep. About the time Summer disappeared.
Exactly.
Absolutely right.
And she knew him. He wasn't no stranger, and she would have went with him as well.
So this is kind of actually interesting to listen back to. I don't know quite how old it is. I can look at the date that I recorded it and kind of get an idea, but Prayer Garden has been on Don's ass for however many months now, recently, about how he is blaming everybody else. And look at her. She's doing the same thing. She's on here blaming Fred. She's blamed everybody under the sun. Prayer Garden, you have no right to blame Don for blaming other people when you sit up there on a daily basis blaming everybody under the sun. Anyway, I just found that interesting. Let's keep listening.
So,
Well,
you know, he was gone 3.5 hours to do a job that should only took an hour and a half.
Yeah.
He also, you know, like I said, he was, you know, making himself ghost when the police were around there.
That makes me nervous because I know that anybody who wants a large amount of drugs will go to Knoxville, an hour away. If they want to buy a large quantity of drugs, they will go to Knoxville and to bring it back and sell off wherever, you know, because Knoxville is a major drug hub.
Right.
They sell it on the streets and the cops don't even do nothing about it whatsoever. Everybody knows that.
I just think it's important to mention that this is very obviously speculation. All of it sounds like speculation to me anyway, so speculation station alert.
That's 1 hour away. So if he went and sold some scrap metal somewhere between here and there and went to Knoxville, I don't know. I went to Knoxville a few times and talked to a lot of drug dealers out there and showed her picture out there.
And that would have accounted for about the 3.5 hours he was missing.
Yes, that is true. That's a good timeline. Exactly. Yes, that's a very good timeline. Sell metal, head on to Knoxville, get drugs, head on back. That would be about 3.5 hours. You're damn right. You're damn right. That sounds good.
I don't know. Don seems a little bit too happy about that.
You got that right on.
Exactly. You know, I wouldn't rule him out.
No,
I just would not rule him out.
No.
Everybody is still a suspect. So Ziggy, while you sit up there buying clothes, getting phones, doing all sorts of things to set up Fred's new life, you are helping a suspect. And I have no doubt in my mind that it's to help you. For you to get content. For you to make a living off of him and off of the case of Summer Wells. I have no doubt. 1000% selfish reasons for you, Ziggy. You don't care about Summer. You don't care about Fred. You care about yourself and your bills. But I do think you enjoy kissing his ass. And I also think that if Fred isn't credible, then you're not credible. So you have to stand up for him.
Thank you for answering. Did Fred Hill have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Did Fred Hill have anything to do with Summer's disappearance? Says no. Okay, can you face forward, please?
You know, I wouldn't rule him out.
No.
I just would not rule him out.
No.
You know, and Ziggy's taking a big risk hanging around there.
Especially taking her daughter around that.
Another child. Exactly. That is not a place for children.
Looking into that. I'm sorry.
They met.
Met her daughter. Her daughter is cool as hell.
She's got a beautiful little girl, right?
Chili together one night before all this other stuff, and Ziggy was really cool with us, and her daughter was just the sweetest little girl. I can't believe she's taking him around Fred Hill for reals.
Well, there's a lot of people I can't believe she took her around. I mean, it's one thing to go to church, but to go out to lunch and then hit 110? Yeah. Not something I'd do.
Exactly. And Yeah, I've been screaming about that. You're right, Kay. I've been screaming about that metal sound for a long time, right?
Stand by your man and something warm to come to.
Oh, geez, this is hilarious. You guys will crack up when you see what Fred Hill just said.
When nights are cold and lonely.
It really shows me. I mean, I'm putting 2 and 2 together here in my head. Well, why is Jody Sue so scared? And why does it always seem to be revolve around Fred? Well, Fred's been the only one. I mean, I think of the history, and he's been the only one that's, he's been the most honest of anybody.
If we're comparing him to you, maybe. But you know, you just continue to...
Stand by your man.
Fred just said that Jody Sue knew better than he said that she's just jealous because I wouldn't have anything to do with her fat ass, and me and you are really closer than anyone knows. Ass, and me and you are really closer than anyone knows.
Ass, and me and you are really closer than anyone knows.
Oh, because she was trying to say, look what she's trying to say. I go, LOL, did she try sleeping with you?
Get your hands off of my man. Get your hands off of my man.
I go, LOL, did she try sleeping with you? And he goes, no one scares me but the good Lord above. She knew better than trying. I would have hurt her feelings. Oh, buddy. Because I said, the reason why he said something about us knowing each other better than people think is because I go, does she really think you're going to get scared from talking to me? You know me at this point and know my intentions are good. Jody Sue is a scared little puppy. No one takes her seriously.
Get your hands off of my man.
Weirdo. Can message her my phone number. I can't just keep, I'm sure somebody put like $20 on her books or something, but I can't freaking, I can't support both of them in jail.
What is wrong with you? Why would you want to support anyone in jail for meth? Especially suspects in regards to Summer's case. Ziggy, make it make sense. I know you need to pay the bills. I get it. Fred and Laura help pay your bills because you use them. And you use Summer to pay your bills. I hope that you can sleep well at night. I don't know how anyone could sleep well at night doing what you're doing. You're also doxing some random person on your screen. I mean, come on.
I can't support both of them in jail. But Fred seemed very kind of confused how she would even have any meth. Which I don't see how he would be confused. I mean, if you're in that scene and meth is your thing, you're going to be around others who that's their thing too. And, you know, it's a somewhat cheap drug. I'm sure he's taught Laura how to make it.
Yeah, probably, Ziggy. You're probably right. And you'd know. Just my opinion, but I think you're probably, on the same lines. And that right there will actually lead us into part 2. Let's take a look at how Ziggy speaks to suspects, how Ziggy relates to suspects. And of course, plenty more Ziggy and Fred. But as we go out, let's enjoy Ziggy's little giggles for Fred one more time. I put them all together for us. If you're watching this in a live preview right now and you're hearing this, you should be redirected right to part 2. If you're on the replay, look for the next video that will say part 2, and I will put the link to that in the description to help you find it. See you in a minute.
Fred. Oh, buddy.
You gotta believe it's a disease. Thinking about these things with no remedy. Now I'm flowing and planting the seeds. You're someone that somebody needs. Never let them tell you that you're not, cause you are. Don't let them make you look dumb, cause you're smart. You don't never have to act like you're tough. Let me be the one to say that you're enough. Never let them tell you not, cause you are. Don't let them make you look dumb, cause you're smart. You don't never have to act like you're tough. Let me be the one to say that you're enough. You are enough to me. Are you enough for you? Look in the mirror and ask yourself what you wanna do. Be enough for you.